What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and beasts of all ages, safe societies? Oh yeah, we're going back to some sweet internet historian juice with the knowledge sauce inside my brain hole. The story of Kony with a K? What, pray tell, be Kony? I know Sone, I talked to a baby, but I do not know of Kony. And KONNY2012 at that. Interesting. Link in the description down below to Internet Historian. Let's see what it be about the story of Kony. Bars! Oh my god. I'll take my Nobel Peace Prize. Or my Nobel Peace Prize, even if she ever watches this. Let's go! Play button pressing now. What be Kony? The future of the world is bright with you. Is it though?
KONNY2012 is the story of a man, Jason Russell, and his relentless quest to stop Ugandan warlord, Joseph Kony.
Oh.
Let's begin with the action start.
I see.
On March 5th, 2012, a charity called Invisible Children published a high-production video called KONNY2012. It was an awareness campaign seeking to mobilize action to capture or kill Ugandan warlord Joseph Kony.
And the goal of the story was to make Kony famous.
30 minutes long, it really tried to pull at your heartstrings.
At the end of my life, I want to say that the world we've left behind is one that Gavin can be proud of.
It's not gonna be.
A place that doesn't allow Joseph Konys and child soldiers.
And little Gavin would have been proud because it took off like no video on YouTube ever had.
We wanted 500,000 views in the whole year of 2012. We got 500,000 views in the first 3 hours.
It received 100 million views in the first 6 days.
That's that good YouTube back in the day.
1.4 million likes. Click that link in the description below. They clicked it so hard the website went down. And the email was so inundated that the service provider assumed it was an attack and temporarily pulled the plug. The Times named it the most viral video ever. It raised the charity over $20 million. People really went fucking bananas for this video and those Ugandan kids.
Why have I never heard of it?
4 million hashtags. People changed their Facebook profiles, so you knew it was a big deal.
My god.
A fan-made mobile game.
Oh my god.
Are you woke about Joseph Kony? Yeah, but are you woke enough to get a tattoo?
What the what?
People were up for pretty much anything to stop Kony, as long as it didn't involve any practical action. 1 like equals 1 saved child.
That is not how that
But
works.
who is Joseph Kony and
Who
what's all
is
the fuss?
Kony?
Well, he's the leader of the Lord's Resistance Army, LRA.
My God, you're greasy.
And he really is one of the
What the
most evil
fuck,
people
dude?
living today. Imagine the worst crime you can think of committing, and he'll have done it thousands of times over.
Takes children, makes them kill their parents and eat their parents.
What the fuck?
The surviving girls would be kept as sex slaves, and the boys conscripted into the LRA as child soldiers.
What the
I know, it's kind of a bummer.
It's all part of a civil conflict that's been going on for 30 years.
What the
We'll get into the details later, but for now, consider this our one-dimensional bad guy.
fuck this guy? What the wow?
And here's our protagonist.
And who is Jason?
Jason Russell, the figurehead of KONNY2012 and Invisible Children. He's a devout Christian,
Nice.
stereotypically Californian,
I do consider myself a refined valley dude.
Oh god.
but he has a bad boy side too.
Oh, there you go, ladies.
So it all
There's your bad
starts
boy.
in 2003 when, as a naive and aspiring filmmaker, he goes to Uganda with 2 friends in search of a story. While driving through a rural village,
A car was shot in front of us
Bro,
by a
Call of
rebel
Duty.
army who was led by a guy named Joseph Kony.
Oh god.
they drive to a city for safety and find this. Turns out it's part of a nightly routine. Kids live in the villages, but commute to the city to sleep there to avoid being kidnapped in midnight raids by the LRA.
My god.
Thousands and thousands of kids without an adult in sight.
Jason had found his story
AK-74U.
and a cause. It must have made a real impression on him because for the next 10 years he dedicated himself almost exclusively to trying to improve things in Uganda and stop Kony.
Alright, I like this guy.
KONNY2012 was the culmination, but in the preceding years he tried a bunch of other schemes. This,
The Bracelet Campaign.
Oh god.
this,
Twice daily broadcast about where the LRA is and where they're active.
and this.
Do what we always do. Dance.
Oh god, please, I don't want to. I can't look
This
at
is
it.
all real.
Oh. There they are. They're the cringe bumps. Oh god, cringe bumps. Here they are. Oh. Why did this exist? No, keep it on.
Naturally, questions have been raised about his sexual orientation.
All these other rumors too that you were gay.
Yeah, I've heard those rumors.
Yeah.
My parents started a large children's theater organization, so I am
Theatrical.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Straight men are allowed to enjoy musicals. It's currently
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like
back
musicals.
to
I've been in a few.
2012.
I'm straight.
So the video lays out a plan
good.
called Cover the Night. Here's what you do. Pay $30 for your super special Kony action kit. Whoa,
With an action
that's
kit?
nice. In the kit, you'll find 5 items. Button, bracelet, stickers, shirt, and these posters. Then,
Where's the action,
on
though?
April 20th, in the dead of night, go out and vandalize your town with awareness.
And wake up to hundreds of thousands of posters demanding justice on every corner.
It was going to be amazing.
It was
Everyone
amazing.
was on board.
It was
The
amazing.
countdown to April 20th had begun.
My
And all
God.
Jason and Co. had to do was keep the momentum going and not fuck it up.
He fucks it up 2 seconds later. Literally the next day. Yes.
This movie is not without critics.
Critics say the film manipulates the facts.
Simplifying the story.
Oversimplifying a widely
Anderson
complex
Cooper,
message.
you are fucked up.
Joseph Kony and his forces have been significantly reduced.
Pro-war activism.
Utterly naive to
By next week, this will be a passing
These
fad.
white Westerners sort of getting on a bandwagon, and actually they haven't got a clue what they're talking about.
A day or two later, the heady excitement gave way to more down-to-earth analysis. Media commentators started making scathing critiques of the video, and testimony from Uganda wasn't entirely positive either.
It's unfortunate that we can have people who are merchandising but using people's problems.
Then it got really serious.
Oh shit.
Teenage girls started weighing in.
Oh no.
I asked my mom, and my mom laughs and goes, "He died like 5 years ago."
This is
sorry?
wrong, by the way, but it was seen by
the
4
fuck?
million people. From a source of my mum said
Stupid
it, so it
ass
must be
bitch.
true.
Of course.
The term slacktivism started cropping up more and more.
Slacktivism. Oh,
Legitimate
no.
questions were asked.
Oh,
How will the
there it
money
is.
donated be spent?
That invisible children would send would have to go to the Ugandan military.
Why did you put your son in the film?
You know, why would you put your son in the film?
Yeah,
Why did you
why?
put yourself in the film? It was questions about our sincerity.
Why are they saying Kony is in Uganda when he's actually in the Central African Republic? Invisible Children wasn't popular among other charities either.
Of
They
course.
were hogging the limelight. And they released KONNY2012 just 2 days before International Women's Day, a critical fundraising time for some. Even the Ugandan Prime Minister took a few jabs.
We do not need a sleek video on YouTube for us to take notice.
Get him. Maybe you do.
Once people started feeling misled, they turned against the organization
I turned
and
against that
squared the
too.
blame on one person. The pressure was building. Online backlash and a hectic schedule was starting to take a toll.
My phone was getting 10 text messages every second. It was
Whoa.
Millions of supporters on one side, millions of critics on the other.
On and on and on.
Make Kony famous? Well, it made Jason famous too.
Yup.
And the pressure kept
Infamous.
increasing. He was flying all over the country to spread his message,
Took the red eye to New York, landed at 5 in the morning.
working around the clock.
On the Today Show, People Magazine, Reuters. By day 3, I was in LA doing interview after interview after interview.
17 interviews in 48 hours.
The pressure.
Wow.
He
Building
was
up.
sleeping less and becoming more erratic.
Not being able to sleep, not being able to
yeah,
stop my
been there.
racing mind.
Criticism from every direction.
Then it was like, you're the worst. You're terrible. And Kony's dead.
They started saying the whole project was for his ego, or based on greed, and not just criticism, responsibility. How are you going to stop children from being murdered, Jason? You promised a solution, Jason. When are you going to deliver Kony?
At the end of that day, my mind was
Broken?
exhausted.
To release the pressure, he and his family tried to take a couple of days off by going to Palm Springs.
That's a mistake.
But people recognized him there too.
Yep.
So they hid away in their hotel room with the curtains closed. Jason was starting to crack. Paranoia, delusions of grandeur. He went with his family to see the Lorax, and he thought the film was speaking to him directly. Voices in Jason's head told him that he needed to get to New York in the next 12 hours, or Kony would win.
Oh shit!
Whatever that meant.
He's cracked. It's
Then,
over. Snapped.
He stripped off all of his clothes and ran out into the street.
I was on a street in San Diego, totally naked and crazy out of my mind. Someone driving by in a car took a video on their phone, and they sold it to TMZ for $30,000. And then my naked and crazy mess went viral as well.
Some have said that he was jacking it, and that he was on drugs. Neither is true.
Good.
It's just a very distressed man having a mental episode.
Were you also masturbating? Did I hear that too?
No one who was there ever said that that was happening. Yeah. I'm naked, so it's not a far extension of, imagination.
He was taken to the hospital, not jail.
Police say when they showed up, they didn't see any of that and was taken to a local medical facility, that he was not arrested though.
And there, he thought the staff were trying to kill him.
Okay,
Just one of those things where I'm like, I don't believe what you're saying. You're trying to kill me.
What?
He ran around in his underwear, kicking in doors until eventually he was subdued and sedated.
Did you come back to yourself as you know yourself?
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Why the hell are you on my show?
Yeah.
Later on, one Sharona Reed tried to sue Mr. Russell for the trauma of having to see him do naked calisthenics. As far as I can tell, though, that lawsuit went down.
Can you think of anything else that's worse than running around naked going like this on TMZ?
Well, maybe one thing.
Yes. That AIDS. Oh God, my eyes.
While all of this was happening, the countdown to the day of action was still ticking.
7,
Thousands of kits had been sold.
5, 4.
Get ready for an awareness campaign so effective you'll think you're living in Uganda. The kids rolled out into the street.
It began.
Selfie sticks and posters ready. Let's do it. Let's save those kids. We're changing the world. Oh, God, yes.
Okay, he didn't have it.
But it wasn't all well intended. Some took it as a chance to vandalize their neighborhood with impunity.
Not the rock. Oh, not my pet rock.
The adults were left to clean up the mess.
Oh, not the spoon. Oh, no.
And despite the impression you might get from this fancy montage, the turnout was abysmal. Here are some figures. Toronto, 50,000 people registered. Real attendance? 50. Sydney, 18,000 people registered.
4.
Real attendance? 12. Montreal, 4,800 registered. Real
10.
attendance? 0. Instead, they cancelled their event and put up a post calling Invisible Children a fraud organization.
I mean, I could have told you that one.
This is what 4 million Kony hashtags gets you.
Wow.
Now, I bet you want to know where Invisible Children, Jason Russell, and Kony are now. But before I tell you that, I want to go on 2 quick tangents of things I found while researching.
Tangent
In the Kony 2012 video, you'll see this guy, Louis Marino Ocampo, Chief Prosecutor for the International Criminal Court. This would be the organization that charges Kony if he was ever caught. Well, in 2017, a bunch of Louis' emails were leaked, and they detailed one hell of a caper to catch Kony and bring him to justice.
My God.
I'm not making any
This
of the
is too tough to make up.
Here's the plan. Lure Kony out of the jungle with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie as bait.
Straight from a Hollywood movie, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt attempting to arrest an African warlord.
So it would go, the A-list couple would fly to the edge of the jungle where Kony is hiding and call him up.
Snake Eater! Yes, there it is! Yes!
Kony, starstruck, would of course say yes.
Oh
He'd
my
show
God.
up, presumably bottle of wine in hand and ready to mingle. Then, imagine his shock. It was a trap all along.
It's a trap!
Special forces would pop out from behind the salad bar and get their guy.
One idea appears to have been for Angelina Jolie to lure him to a private dinner where he would be arrested.
It was a foolproof plan, but unfortunately, it was never realized. Once Miss Jolie stopped responding to Louis' weird emails, Ocampo approached George Clooney for use of his spy satellite.
The chief prosecutor had also attempted to recruit George Clooney in a plot to fly spy satellites over Libya.
Yes, that's correct. George Clooney partnered with a satellite company to spy on al-Bashir of Sudan. Okie doke. Anyway, he responded that the satellite wasn't powerful enough. So then Ocampo moved on to his backup date, Sean Penn, whom he invited to the UN security meeting in South Sudan. What?
What? Yeah, what? Tangent too.
And there were some people having fun with KONNY2012 as well.
Of course, I mean,
turns out Kony looks a lot like Carl Weathers in the movie Predator.
No, you didn't.
So an idea was formed.
No.
Take this screenshot from Predator,
please.
post it on Facebook, and say how great he is without mentioning the name. Then wait for some Slacktivists to immediately assume it's Joseph Kony. Then you call them racist. It was good for a few minutes of fun.
No, it's not.
Then they tried it on the official meetup pages.
Oh, God.
Promptly deleted.
Yep.
And we're back.
Oh,
so get a load
God.
of this total car crash, dumpster fire, shitstorm, diaper hurricane, am I right, guys?
Diaper hurricane.
Well, no.
No?
Despite all the mishaps and poor turnout, KONNY2012 was a massive success. The goal was to make an obscure warlord in rural Uganda a household name.
This man eating
And they
Wheaties.
succeeded. A reach in the hundreds of millions on a budget of about $1.5 million.
Bruh.
Any marketing agency would kill for that. In fact, 7 years later, you probably clicked on this video because you have some vague notion of Kony and that video already. Now, let me give you a very brief rundown.
Did he? 7 years, like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. He was pretty close. See, he was pretty close. Yeah, it's not
On
bad.
where everyone is. Then let's get out of here. Invisible Children. Outside of long-term and small-scale projects, they've largely ceased operations.
Of course.
Joseph Kony. He's still out there.
Somewhat.
But his army is shrinking and splintering.
Good.
He is effectively in hibernation.
I see.
And Jason Russell.
In jail.
He's no longer with Invisible Children. He's also been breakdown free since 2012. But he's still doing the activism thing. Look, I've had to gloss over so many details in this video. And there are so many more questions to be answered. But I don't want this video to be an hour long or to take 2 months more
What
to
is the
make.
next vid?
So I'm going to round this one off with a Q&A on the second channel.
Oh, sweet.
What about that $20 million they raised? Why didn't the US military or the Ugandan military ever just bomb the shit out of Kony? What did Kony have to say about the video? All of these questions, and a ton more, plus any questions you may have of your own. Uganda want to see
Well, that is gonna do it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Everything was already weird and messed up, but then you brought Angelina Jolie, and what's his face, and hooray for knowledge. We gonna check out the Q&A of this video on his second channel next time. That's because I've got so many Q's that I need A's for. So many A's. But that's gonna do it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Link in the description down below to internet historian, to internet historian down below. But guys, if you like this video, take your big small claws of awesomeness juice, smash the like button, and until next time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, peace of all ages, shapes, and sizes. Love, peace. Above all, just stay beast mode for me. Just stay beast mode for the epic one of all the wins. Just stay this. Beast mode, this right here. Claws. Wolfang fist.